Hello. Today I want to talk about what's going on in America, and there are some things we need to understand that should not be happening, but they are. In Chicago, using Black Hawk helicopters, the ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents, swooped down on an entire apartment complex, arrested everybody without a single warrant, and held many overnight. Kids were taken out of bed, taken away. But anyway, here's the report right now from Crystal Ball.
And she says they took everyone and then asked questions later.
They just treated us like we were nothing.
Patricia Fisher says she came out to the hallway of her apartment complex on the corner of 75th and South Shore Drive in her nightgown around 10 Monday night, only to find ICE agents yelling police.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me did I have any warrants, and I told them no. I didn't.
She says she was then handcuffed and released around 3 a.m. Fisher says she was told if anyone had any kind of warrant out for them, even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released. Cincinnati video shows the chaotic scene overnight. Neighbors tell us there were dozens of ICE agents. Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People was screaming. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner. Because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. That's all I kept asking. Where's the morality? Where's the human?
Yeah, so it keeps going on, but there's more reports also of them dragging children out into out of their homes. Some of the children were naked, apparently, zip tied. And so what are we to make of this, especially after Trump has meme war declaration of Chicago? I think a week or two ago is when he posted that meme of napalming Chicago. So I guess he's following up on his promises here.
Well, he also promised in that 𝐾𝐭 speech this week to use these cities as training grounds. By the way, that was at 44 minutes in.
Explicitly talking about unleashing the military with all of the top generals assembled there against the enemy within. And these ladies that you just saw there on the street, who are American citizens, who did nothing wrong, that is apparently what he means. I mean, I know that there's a lot that's shocking in the world. I know there's a lot that's shocking in the country. I really want people to sit with what happened here, okay? They used Black Hawk helicopters in the middle of the night to rappel into an apartment building. They pulled everyone out, broke down the doors, destroyed their belongings. There were no warrants, okay? Little kids who were sleeping naked or in their underwear, pulled out crying, zip tied together and thrown into U-Haul vans. Little American kids, okay? It wouldn't be okay if it's immigrants, by the way, but I know this is an important distinction for a lot of people. Other people, grown-ups, adults, seniors, dragged out, did nothing wrong, middle of the night, again, unclothed, zip tied together, thrown and detained for hours. For hours. No ability to make a phone call, no lawyer, no warrant, nothing. These are criminal acts. These are criminal acts being committed by the DHS. They have decided that our rights do not exist, do not matter, that through brute force, they can literally do whatever they want to whoever they want. That's what we're talking about here. And this isn't the only instance. New York Times had a report on a number of American citizens who've been swept up by ICE. One man, he was trying to get to his work site, American citizen, veteran, Army veteran, by the way, had his windshield smashed in by ICE. They shot pepper spray in his face, and they pulled him out, arrested him, and held him for 3 days. No call, no lawyer, nothing. They think they can do whatever they want. And that's what I want people to really understand, okay? This is about immigration, but it's also not about immigration. This is about a regime that thinks they can literally act with impunity because they have the power and they have the guns. Some of these Democratic mayors and governors, law enforcement needs to protect these citizens. They are being abused. They're being assaulted. They're having their rights violated. They're having their possessions destroyed. This apartment complex may not even open up again. They may be completely displaced. I am completely floored. I'm without words. it's hard for me to be shocked by what this administration does at this point when we're talking about pulling naked kids out of their beds, zip tying them together and throwing them in the back of a U-Haul van in the middle of the night. How can anyone, I don't care if you love Trump or hate Trump or you're anti, whatever, I don't know how anyone morally justifies this and feels okay with it and thinks that it doesn't directly implicate your own rights in your own life.
So there you have it, Chicago. What's going on? It's like the Gestapo now. ICE is being used as a rogue Gestapo. In addition to undocumented immigrants, they're going after Americans. And they're doing it without warrants. And it's just like Gestapo here. Just like Gestapo. And if you think that your rights aren't going to be infringed upon in the same manner at some point, you've got another thing coming. First of all, let's take a look at a few things. From 1975 to the year 2023, according to a RAND study, $79 trillion has been redistributed from the bottom 90% of American citizens to the top 1%. Think about that. How would that impact the demand for goods and services? So you have to, it's going to have a huge impact in as much as there's going to be a big decrease in demand. So you have to have bigger budget deficits to make up the difference. And there's going to come a time when those budget deficits are going to be awful bad, and there's going to have to be cutbacks. And then people are going to be rioting in the streets and demanding honest government, and it's not going to happen. And the Gestapo, in whatever form, be it ICE, be it your local sheriff's department, but U.S. Marshals, who knows? They're going to come knocking at your door without warrants, and you're going to be taken in. That's the potential scenario, because that's exactly what happened in Chicago. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about this issue. You have a good one, and keep your guns handy.